and welcome back to Well Played, presented by The Skim. I'm Caroline Hendershot.
And I'm Blake Morgan. We have a guest, and you're just going to absolutely freak it when you find out who it is. Ready?
Freak it.
3, 2, 1.
Ilona Maher.
In case you didn't get that, it was Ilona Maher.
Yep.
Of American rugby fame, Olympic fame.
Dancing with the Stars fame.
So much fame.
All of the fame. Internet glory.
Truly, if you don't know who we're talking about, you should definitely look her up on Instagram.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself with love.
Yeah. We're so excited to have her on, chat with her. You're going to love it. Anything of news or note?
No, because I want to talk about sports today.
Whoa, okay. Damn, you showed me. All right, well, make sure you're checking out our full-length episode on YouTube. Just search Well Played, presented by The Skim. Or if you are an audio listener, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Like, subscribe, comment,
Review.
DM us. You know the gist. Blake, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at BLAAA4KsE. Slowed it down because sometimes I find that I say it a little too fast.
Okay, good feedback for yourself. You can follow me at CGHendy, Hendy. And make sure you're following The Skim. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up on Playing the Field, we are beginning with the NBA playoffs. The conference finals are well underway, and the series everyone is talking about is the Eastern Conference matchup between the Knicks and the Pacers. After dropping the first two games of the series at home, Karl Anthony Towns put the team on his back in Game 3 with 20 points in the fourth quarter to secure a comeback win. Blake, how are you feeling about your sweet, sweet New York Knicks?
Well, he put the team on his back, but he also put Jersey on the map. Let us not forget. He is from Central Jersey.
Of course.
My high school played his high school. I have seen him in the flesh as a teenager.
Wow.
At the Rutgers Rack.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's called the Rack. They might have renamed it since then.
Probably,
when I was in high school.
So.
So it's just really cool, full circle moment for me as a Jersey girl. I actually have been tuning into a lot of these Knicks games, which is crazy because a year ago.
I'm so proud.
Well, obviously a year ago, I don't even think they made it this far.
Yeah.
But yeah, crazy. I watched, yes, this game was amazing, but also we have to talk about game 1 in the series.
Yeah.
With the choke.
Oh, yeah, that was iconic because...
It was iconic. So yeah, this is a moment from the series that everyone has been talking about this past week, which, oh my God, it happened, I think, last Tuesday or Wednesday. And then I was like, I wish I could talk about it on the podcast right away, but here I am talking about it now. So in case you missed it, the Pacers star, Tyrese Haliburton, he hit a step-back two-pointer to tie the game and send it to overtime. I was watching live. I was like, no! Like slow motion, super dramatic.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
It was pretty sick. But then he hit it with the choke celly. So he was like, because he thought that he hit the three-pointer. Yeah. But it wasn't 3 points. It was only 2. So he was like, that might have been a little premature.
Jumped the gun a little bit.
Jumped the gun. It still was pretty fucking cool.
No, I mean, after a shot like that,
your brain's not, you're moving too fast.
You're caught up in the moment. But also, I think the most iconic part was that Reggie Miller was in attendance.
Oh, right.
And so him doing that in front of Reggie Miller, who made the whole move iconic to begin with. Yeah. I'm just like, yeah, that's chef's kiss.
That was so cool.
That's beautiful.
I do worry for Timothée Chalamet a bit during this series. Because the first two games, obviously, I was just like, oh, we're so fucked. And so I can only imagine him being there at the games. Like, there's got to be some sadness in the air. He did fly out to Indiana for the last game.
You bet he did.
As well. And he looked like Guy Fieri.
Or like Jack Nicklaus. Or Jack Nicholson. I was thinking of the golfer, my bad.
Jack Nicholson. He had like these sporty specs on.
It was a
with
weird
a gold
combo.
chain.
Yeah.
Sort of like if you put frosted tips on him, I actually was about to like maybe Photoshop and see like put them side by side.
You should try it. Put it on your story.
Let
the people know. Okay, but then also what we're not talking about is that Haliburton's father was also finally let back into future games for the Pacers. Like literally, I think it got announced yesterday that he had been banned from Pacers games after his confrontation on the court with Giannis after the Bucks series. So I am actually glad that they're letting him back in. However, I do think that there should be some stipulations. I think that he should like have to sit in the nosebleeds.
Well, he's sitting in a suite. sweet, I think.
Okay, good.
They're like, you need to be tucked away.
Yeah,
you can come
you're
back,
not allowed.
but you got to be tucked away.
Yep.
I think all it took was a little time out for dad. You know what I mean? Sometimes dad needs time out.
Take a chill.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Put the brakes on a little bit, Dad. Yeah. So I think that's good.
I know. I was pro.
But I still think like he shouldn't even be in a suite. I think he should be in the nosebleeds. Like,
why?
It should be part of the punishment.
No.
You have a temper tantrum and you throw a fit with a literal professional basketball player that is not your son. And so, I'm sorry, goodbye. Go up
Sit
to the
with those
nosebleeds.
plebes in the nosebleeds.
Exactly, like a normie. So, I don't know. I just think that there's some work to be done there.
Yeah.
Also to note, Game 4 tips off tonight.
I will be
at
watching.
8 p.m. Where will you be watching from?
I think I'm going to watch. My boyfriend and I do this monthly date called Tavern Tuesday where we go to this random towny tavern in Jersey City.
That's so cute.
It's like right by his parents' house. And so we go there. There's a guy named Kevin who's on the grill. He's been on the grill for like 30 years since he graduated college.
Wow. Pop
he has
off,
another
Kevin.
job too, but he just like chooses to cook at Park Tavern.
Yeah.
For
Because he
fun.
knows what's up.
Yeah, not to dox myself, but I'm sure a
doxing.
lot of you guys will be showing up to Tavern Tuesday tonight. If you want to, you can watch the game with us. That's where I'll be
Okay. Love that for you.
with Kevin.
I'll be on my couch.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Okay, next, the Western Conference Finals have mostly been headlined by newly crowned league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to sweet Shai because I was unfamiliar with his game. He is the new king of my heart after what he said about his wife.
Right. It had nothing to do with the basketball.
No.
Basketball aside.
Put that aside. You are a very talented young man. Proud of you. Congratulations. However, the person that you are off the court, my Lanta, in his acceptance speech of his MVP acceptance, he said to this quote, "Thank you for everything you are for me, for our son Aries. You were the first person to show me what love really meant, what sacrifice really meant, and I can't wait to spend the rest of this journey called life with you, so thank you for everything." Two things.
Let's hear it.
Immediately to my Mount Rushmore of husbands because, love that. Two, I don't know why I despise when people use the term "this journey called life." I don't know why. There's no rhyme or reason.
It's a
just
nitpick.
hate it. So I'm just like, get it out. But otherwise, flawless.
Right.
Yeah.
Third thing, where does "Oh My Lanta" come from?
I don't know.
That's
a
you
thing
picked
that
it up
people
one
say.
day.
That's a thing that people say.
All right, I'm gonna have to look up that one.
Yeah.
Wait, did you also know that Shai? We're on first name basis now.
Yeah, you're a good friend.
At every home game, he signs every single jersey, forehead, whatever of every single fan that's there.
Sweet boy.
Before the game starts and after warm-ups. And he also like daps up all of the coaching staff before he goes back to the locker room, or I guess before he goes to sign the stuff. So
I love him.
He was like, I remember what it was like. I would have killed to get a Kobe signature on anything, so I want to give it back to these kids. And I'm like,
That's so sweet.
but it was funny. I found that out because OKC's YouTube channel literally made a video montage of him doing it. I'm like, they know.
Yeah.
They're leaning in. He's also Canadian.
Oh.
Which explains why he's so sweet, like maple syrup.
Okay. I see you. I see you. You had a note about what he gave his teammates.
Oh, I did have a note because so after he was named MVP, he also gifted his teammates a Rolex, a Canada Goose jacket with the Thunder season's 68-14 record embroidered on it, Beats by Dr. Dre, iPhones, and more, and it was all worth like $10,000. Of course, these players are not starved for cash, but it's like the collective, a gift, something for him to
The
give back.
thoughtfulness behind
and him
it.
to just be like, I couldn't be here without you guys. This is like even just a small gesture, but thank you for everything.
Also, not for nothing, I don't need all of those gifts. I would love just toss me
Just
a
a
Rolex,
Rolex.
you know? I'll take the Rolex.
Tasteful Rolly.
Let me take it off one of your hands, okay? It's fine. He also scored 40 points last night in Game 4, their win over the Timberwolves. So the Thunder now hold a 3-1 lead.
Woof.
T.
So meanwhile, the WNBA season is in full swing, as we know, and league owners have something to celebrate beyond just the increased attention, more money that is, in terms of at least, team valuation. So the New York Liberty owners sold shares in their team at what appears to be a record valuation of $450 million doll hairs. That's the highest number ever for a women's professional sports franchise.
Booyah. I felt that was necessary.
Celebratory booyah. Yes, I like that. Okay. The sale also included an ownership stake in the mid-teens, according to reports. Crazy valuation.
Yeah.
Even like Chelsea FC, which Serena Williams' husband, famous Hab, Alexis Ohanian, just invested in, like, I think a couple weeks ago. What do we think about this?
I mean, I think we've been saying this for a while, like, oh, women's sports, it's like the next upcoming thing. People are starting to invest in it, even though it's been around for forever. But I think that this is actually showing people who need kind of the actual representation of what it's worth.
Yeah.
Like down on paper. I think that's kind of now hopefully opening some eyeballs. Yeah.
Also, just like if other teams don't follow suit, man, listen, Liberty's just gonna bringing all the talent to New York. You know, I heard they got a $80 million practice facility on the horizon, built in Greenpoint. It looks pretty sick. I don't know if you guys have seen the 3D modeling.
I have.
It was looking right.
It looks pretty sick.
Looking right.
Also to note, according to another new report, this one from Associate Professor of Finance at Indiana University, Columbus, Ryan Brewer, Caitlin Clark's economic impact on the league could eclipse $1 billion.
That's insane, vibes.
He said Clark was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity last season.
My God.
And I mean, that is showing this year because all of the big fever games are in like bigger arenas and they're still like selling out. So.
I know. Also, just side note to this guy, like imagine being able to, I saw in an article they credited him as an expert in valuations. I'm
Love
like,
that.
How do I get to that point?
I mean, yeah. Oh, also quick note on CC, our good friend Caitlin Clark. She's out for a minimum of the next 2 weeks with a left quad injury.
Owie.
I know. So she'll be back hopefully right after she heals up from that.
Okay, so tennis. We are covering so many sports this week.
Here, there, and everywhere, baby.
The French Open is underway in Paris, and who was in attendance? None other than tennis legend and 14-time French Open champion Rafa Nadal. Did you see the ceremony where he was like honored and
Yes, I obviously saw it, and I obviously cried because these four men that were so Rafa gets honored, right? And then Roger, Federer, Novak Djokovic, and Andy Murray all come out and kind of like surprise him. He's crying. I'm crying. You know, it's just a whole thing. These men were like my childhood. My mom is a big tennis fan, so she always had tennis on growing up. And I quite literally remember Rafa coming on the scene and being like, I don't like him because he's beating Federer. And Federer's my man, and I will defend him till the death. And so it was just so sweet to like see them all so close. And it's just like, ugh, I love when men are emotional.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I told Caroline and Sean, I was going to keep this in confidence, but I'm going to share publicly now. I said if I saw any of these men on the street, I wouldn't even bat my eye. Like I could not identify.
That hurt me.
Yeah.
That really hurt me.
I was never really into tennis.
I mean, I get it.
I think I'm more into tennis culture than tennis itself.
Okay. I understand. But inexcusable. Still inexcusable.
I just wanted to say that so if there's someone in our audience who feels the same way, you know that you're not alone.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I'm not mad at them. I'm just mad at you.
Okay.
There's a difference. Also, organizers unveiled a permanent tribute in the form of a plaque on the clay court at Roland Garros, featuring Rafa's shoe print and the number 14 because of his 14 championships there. He's like the king of clay, so it's a really important thing. He was so overwhelmed. That's when he really cried.
It was pretty cool.
Ugh, love it.
Yeah.
I just love.
I also saw, did you see that everyone got that t-shirt that said like Merci Rafa on it? And they're already these eBay resellers. They're disgusting.
I would
Somebody
never
like
resell that.
Listed one for $540. A free t-shirt.
People need help.
I know.
Also, maybe put it at $20 and I'll buy it.
Other storylines, not even storylines, just things of note from the French Open that I wanted to talk about. Naomi Osaka's outfit.
Can you explain to me what the fit fashion was? Because I'm not a big fan of hair accessories.
Really?
Like, I'm a headband girl, but like that's about where I max out.
Well, okay, so the thing with her hair accessories, I'm going to try and describe it to you all. So she had like 4 of them. They're like 4 little pink, they look like flowers, and it's because they're modeled after Japanese cherry blossoms. They're called sakuras.
Oh.
Yeah, so and I think like
makes
at one of
sense.
the other opens she did a different flower, so she's like continuing on with the flower theme.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so her whole outfit was pink. She wore the pink in her hair. She actually even had like nails that were sakura themed, but her nails were getting so in the way that in the middle, like in the changeover, she had to clip her freaking nails.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, shout out to the staff member who had the nail clippers on deck.
Yeah.
Because that was important.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it cherry blossoms because like this is their season?
Honestly, we're kind of out of sakura season. Like it's usually more in like April.
Interesting.
I mean, think about like DC.
Yeah,
The cherry blossoms
yeah.
there, you know?
Also,
She's also Japanese, so, you know.
Yes. Also, another storyline, but just moment to note, Coco Gauff forgot not one, not two, but all of her rackets ahead of her match. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nightmare fuel.
Okay, but this happened to me. Not on the tennis court, obviously.
Of course it
I
did.
was not to blame. I was in 4th grade. It was like literally my first dance competition. Mm-hmm. I'm traumatized from this because I was so embarrassed at my parents because I was like, even as an 8-year-old, I was like, how the fuck could you fuck this up? Because I got to the dance competition. It's like an hour and a half away down the shore. Mm-hmm. And I get there and I have literally just one dance. Not much to forget. Forgot my costume.
Oh.
My dad had to drive all the way back to Central Jersey, an hour and a half, then drive back down. They had to move our dance in the scheduling of events.
Okay.
And this is my first dance competition. It's scary there.
That's scarring.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been there.
Yeah.
I've been there.
I mean, we've all been there where you like forget your cleats
or something.
And then you're in the car and you're like 45 minutes away and you're like...
I guess I'm not playing today.
Yeah, not good. Let us move on to some NFL news, some sad news out of the NFL this past week. Beloved Colts owner Jim Irsay passed away at the age of 65. He was one of the most charismatic and outspoken owners in the league. Irsay was credited with ushering in many of the things we enjoy about modern NFL.
Like what?
He's also, like, he just was very outspoken and in a good way about things that needed to change in the NFL. And one of my favorite things about him was that he was his dad was not everybody's favorite. He was like rough around the edges, a very notorious alcoholic, and like never gave back to the community. Jim was like, I'm going to completely turn this around when it's my turn. Like, I want to give back to the community always. So people would write into the Colts organization and be like, oh, I'm trying to care for my dad who's on life support and I just lost my job. I don't know how I'm going to do it. He would like make sure that it was a real thing and then give money and would be like, do not, like, let's put this on the down low. I want no cameras, no publicity, no nothing about this. Like, there was a child's family who he got injured playing football and had like a traumatic brain damage accident. And he was 11 at the time. Oh, and God. Jim found out about it, sent them like $20,000 and was like, let's not make a big deal out of this. Literally do not mention it. Yeah, exactly. And so he was just like, sweet king. Guy, so it's really sad to hear of his passing.
Yeah, his passing, however, does mean that the NFL has one more female controlling owner. So his daughter, he has 3. His daughter Carly Irsay Gordon will now take over as the face of the franchise. His other daughter, Casey Foyt, has a degree in sports management and experience working in the NFL, special events for almost like 2 decades. And his youngest daughter, Kaylin Jackson, is the face of the organization's philanthropic efforts. Pretty wild.
I just love, this is like so him coded that he was like, I have 3 daughters. I want to leave the organization in good hands. I'm going to prepare them each in however they want to kind of structure themselves within the organization. But I'm going to prepare them in order to take over and so that I can leave this organization in good hands, in family hands, like all of that. Yeah. And I love it that he was just like, hell yeah, let's sign my daughters up for this. Yeah,
they named, or he named, I guess, his daughters as vice chairs / owners of the Colts in 2012 to keep the franchise in the family. Yep. Also, I mean, I was reading about his eldest daughter who is more going to be like, it seems like the head person in charge of the 3 of them. I didn't realize she was like frequently on the sidelines of games with that little headset looking like a boss bitch. You know what I mean?
You betcha.
She was looking so cool.
I feel like anytime you put on a headset, it's just like immediately you level up, you know? Like you just are more important. Totally.
You do get to put a headset on, right?
When?
I feel like I've seen it. Did I like Mandela affect myself?
I think you did.
Imagining you with a headset on the sidelines. Like in the video of you getting hit with a napkin, were you not wearing a headset?
Oh, no, I was. Okay.
I knew I wasn't crazy.
You're not crazy.
Gaslighting me.
I'm sorry for gaslighting you. Okay. Let us get to, and in case you missed it, because this is crazy, Blake, go for it.
Okay, so in case you missed it, this week we've got to talk about this mother, Stephanie Case, who won a 100-kilometer ultramarathon, also while breastfeeding her 6-month-old child along the way.
This is insane. So here's the caption to her joint Instagram post after winning the race. Not only has Stephanie won the 100K race after giving birth to her daughter 6 months ago, She breastfed her girls several times along the way at the aid stations, but she also won the race starting from far behind with no access to an elite bib. Just wow. Kudos for the rest of your life, Stephanie. Stephanie Chase, you are built different. One, because I have run 26 miles in one sitting, you know? Running an ultra marathon is insane to me. Like, you're just built different. Could never be me. Barely made it through one.
She needs to be studied.
She does. And then also being able to, hey, I'm just gonna like real quick, gave birth 6 months ago, insane. And then also, hey, I'm just gonna like pop off, take a quick break while breastfeeding my child, and then I'm gonna come back and still kick all of your asses.
She started, guys, 30 minutes late.
Yeah.
And she still won.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get her on the show.
That's insane.
Yeah. I also liked her Instagram. She was just talking about how she didn't even go into this race with the mindset of trying to dominate.
That's
she was
when,
just
and
like,
that's when you're so successful.
Exactly. She was just like, I was just trying to have a good time.
Yep.
Because I just had my kid. You know, there were so many struggles with that. Like, just get back into running and, you know.
I'm sorry, real quick. I could think of so many different ways to have a good time other than running an ultra marathon.
She's a runner.
I'm not yucking anyone's yum, but I'm just saying there's plenty of other options on the table.
Well, congratulations, Stephanie. That was so inspiring.
Yes. Okay, we're going to send it before Ilona arrives.
All right, let's do it.
So, our 4 viral sports moments from the week that you have to be sending to your group chat. I will be going first. This one is a tribute to Johnny Gaudreau. So Team USA in hockey beat Switzerland 1-0 in overtime to win the World Championships for their first on-ice trophy in 92 years.
Oh, God.
It's been a minute.
It's like so cool, but it's also like, damn, it really took us that long?
Yeah. So when they were posing for their championship photo, like at center ice, they had a jersey with Johnny Gaudreau's last name on it, his number 13, and the coach, like in his victory speech, was just saying like Johnny was here with us today. He was watching from above because he was a star player for USA Hockey, and it was just like so sweet because I really feel like, although it's so tragic, his death, it's really touched every part of the hockey community. And I think that's what sports is truly all about, is like it really brings people together. So it was just like really touching to me. Yeah, it was sweet.
That was so sweet. Sorry, I was just like getting a little emotional there. Yeah. Well said, Caroline.
Thank you.
In other Send It news, Ben Shelton was recorded.
Oh my God.
He was recorded doing Trinity Rodman trivia.
Yeah.
Ooh, try saying that 3 times fast.
It's a good one.
I won't be trying. And he actually killed it. I was really surprised.
Me freaking too.
I was like, did he get a preview of these questions?
You know what? The one that I was like the most surprised about, I think it was her high school
yes,
soccer coach.
I caught that too.
And he was like, oh, it's blah, blah, blah.
Like Brian
or like, is it something?
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, it is. And he was like, oh, I've heard that name before. What?
Right? Have you ever uttered like your rowing coach's name to Scott?
Yeah, but like, I don't think he would remember it.
Yeah.
And there's also no shot I would remember any of his coaches. And he's definitely told me like a million times. But yeah, that was like so impressive.
He killed it. I was really surprised. And then last week also, Trinity Rodman posted this thing on her Instagram.
Yeah.
It was a reel of her working out in the gym because as we know, she's out with a back injury right now indefinitely. And the caption was like...
It was something like...
She's kind of just like, I'm not just being a wag. I'm in the gym working hard,
I'm actually
basically.
like
I'm actually trying to heal my back.
And training, and doing all of that. I'm not just being a wag and traveling the world.
Right, because she has been around the world literally with Ben. I think she's at the French Open right now too.
I mean, I would be too if my mans was playing in the French Open.
And you can do both. You can wag it out and also rehab your back.
Women can do it all.
No shame, girl. No shame.
None at all. Okay, for my second one, I am highlighting and shouting out sweet boy O'Shea Jackson. So he's Ice Cube's son, for those unfamiliar, with great performance in Straight Outta Compton. So there was this account on Twitter that posted a graphic, and it was showing the last championship for quote unquote every New York sports team. And so it was like, oh, the Giants, it's been 13 years since they won in 2012. And then the Brooklyn Nets, they've never won, and stuff like that. So it was like literally every sports team from baseball to football, whatever. except he left a couple of people off the list. So he was like, it said something, the caption wise of like, this is unacceptable. And O'Shea Jackson quote tweets it and literally just says, shout out the @New York Liberty. And it was like, yeah, hello.
How did you guys forget them?
Are you okay?
Were you not at the parade last year?
Did you black out for a year?
Did you
or
not
so?
see Ellie twerk it out for the team?
Yeah, honestly, so disrespectful to Ellie.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Good for him for calling it out.
And I just loved it. It was like, yeah,
stand on business.
That's
babe.
our man's.
Yeah, we claim him.
We do.
Okay, our final sentence today is Travis Hunter's wedding. So, rising NFL star, Jacksonville Jaguars
Yes.
rookie.
Great job.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't even have my notes here.
I'm so proud of you.
He got married.
Yeah, he
to
did.
Liana Linnea.
His longtime girlfriend.
And not only did he have a beautiful wedding,
Yeah.
I really liked the cake. It was very abstract. He also gifted his now wife with a 6-figure Mercedes-Benz. Is that what Scott's got planned for you?
Yeah, how'd you know? I've picked out the interior color already. Yeah.
Are wedding gifts a thing for your significant other?
I think they are, but they can like range of like, oh, I'm gonna get you like these diamond earrings that you can wear on your wedding day kind of thing. But I think Scott is getting me some sort of jewelry. I'm not allowed to know.
Of course, it's a gift, bro. What are you saying?
Well, I know, but I'm nosy. Hello. But then like, yeah, so I think it can kind of range of whatever you want. Some people don't do it. Some people go big, like hello,
Right,
Benz.
6-figure Benz.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll just also say, hey, Scott, throw in, a Benz while you're at it. Because
I think it'll stick.
Yeah, me too.
I have
That'll
faith.
go over well.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What was your favorite send it?
I think I'm gonna go with O'Shea Jackson. Put respect on the Liberty's name. Come on.
I know. I do like that one too.
Yeah.
But I gotta go Ben Trinity.
Yeah.
I just like their continued lore.
Me
I'm
too.
so involved.
Me too.
And invested.
I'm really into them as a couple. They're really cute.
Okay, so now let's bring in our guest. We are so excited to talk to her, and we've been seriously trying to get her on the podcast
Yes.
since the Olympics.
Yes.
Let's bring in the Olympic athlete, American rugby superstar, and one of our favorite social media personalities, Miss Ilona Maher. Welcome, Ilona, to Well Played. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
We've literally, I feel like, been trying to get you on the pod for forever because not only are we obsessed with you, but I feel like all of the Skim listeners are obsessed with you as well. So
It's true.
I think people are very, very excited about this one.
I appreciate that. I don't do a lot of podcasts because a lot of times, well, first off, we get a lot of requests, and then a lot of times they ask a lot of the same questions. And I'm like, well, I started with this when I was this years old, and then I did this.
Yeah.
So, like, I love going on podcasts like that are gonna
zesty.
intrigue me. So
Yes.
let's get some intriguing stuff
Let's
going.
get
okay?
into it. Okay, I'm gonna kick it off, Blake.
Yeah.
So obviously you have like such a big social media presence, and I kind of want to know about the balance of balancing that, but then also you're kind of the face of rugby for a lot of people that weren't into it previously. You kind of put it on the map post the Olympics. So
Yeah.
what is it like balancing both? And is there kind of a pressure that comes along with being the quote unquote face of rugby?
Yeah, I think that I've learned to balance it really well. I've just made it part of my job in a way, the social media, because I saw how effective it can be and the doors it could open. So I've just treated it like a certain job. I mean, most of my teammates on USA Rugby for the 15 team have other full-time jobs. Like we're in Australia and they're joining meetings, at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's like just easier to balance it that way, to handle it in that way, because it's like, this is where I make all my income. This is such a powerful tool. So I found the balance for it. In terms of being like the star, it is a lot of pressure because I think you don't want to be the star and also be just like a bad player. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You can't.
I think that there's something about being the star, but also being quality on the field. And like proving that you can be funny and do the social media, but also are a good player, which a lot of times in a sport like rugby, and we don't see those personalities. I think we're a sport, very, very stoic sport where, you play around on the field and then that's what you do. And then you go train and then that's it. And it's still in the men's game. And so I think like for me, it was important that, yes, I spend a lot of time on social media and I'm posting and I'm doing all this, but that's not going to take away from what I do on the field. And that I think then will encourage more teams, more coaches to let other players do that because, Ilona, I mean, I was posting constantly at the Olympics and then I won Olympic medal. Like, you're able to separate it. You know, we're not just athletes at the end of the day. We don't just only think about sports. There's more hours of the day to be funny, to scroll media. So there is a pressure also because I want to put out a product that people are going to watch and people are going to, you know, tune into again and again.
Yeah. Get you a girl who can do both.
It's for real.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about, you mentioned your teammates and how they have, you know, sometimes second jobs. And I feel like you've done a really good job of putting the spotlight on them as well and like encouraging them to kind of get activated on social and get people invested in them. What has that been like for you to do that with your teammates?
Yeah, I think it's been such a cool journey because I remember I would be posting on TikTok in 2021 and before Tokyo, and my teammates were like, "Oh, their logo's TikToking again." and then after Tokyo, it would be like, "Okay, everyone, shut up. Ilona's TikTok."
Yeah,
like I think they really see the value in it. Women's rugby, especially, I think is seeing the value in it. It's seeing how much it's changing our sport. So for me, they always ask me like, "Oh, you know, you bring your teammates along with you," but I'm a team sport athlete through and through. All I've ever played is team sports. It would seem crazy to not include them in videos, to not like, you know, make them part of it because it's not just me out there in the field. It's them and like they're who make me funny. They're the ones who laugh at my jokes. I laugh at their jokes. So I think the newer thing that I've been doing is putting a lot of my opponents in my videos as well, because that's another like, I understand that we play a very tough sport, but we're able to, I think, compartmentalize that. So when we go on the field, we play hard, but like I said, I'm tired. I can't be the only superstar. I need to go take a break. And I would love if more rose, and I hope that my following can help those others rise.
Right. Yeah, because it's kind of like, I mean, a niche sport. We were talking before this got started about like how I was a rower, my sister was a rower. It's a very niche sport, and in your sport you think, oh my God, these athletes are so impressive and so incredible. Like how do I get more people to notice them and learn about them? Because once you learn about them, you'll be impressed just like I am, kind of thing. So I think it's like really incredible what you're doing and bringing others along with you. We do have to ask though. So obviously you had a very successful Dancing with the Stars little stint. However,
right.
Do you feel like it made you a better athlete on the field? Because I know this sounds crazy, but I feel like a lot of times like the dual sport athletes pick up things from other sports and then bring it back to their sport.
My dad was hoping that I would learn how to do a step on the field. I don't think it's worked, honestly. What have I learned from dancing that I do in rugby?
Does it have to be like a legitimate, like, oh, I do this dance move on the rugby field?
No. I hear you. I don't think it has translated much. I think it was just so completely different, which I love doing something so different. Like, that was fun to, you know, completely step out of the tough, bulldozing player and be a whole different thing. So I definitely did not take much into the rugby pitch. I've taken much into life, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm not really two-stepping out there or twinkling my toes when I'm running through people.
That's understandable.
I wish I picked up a step. I really do. But no, I still just go through people.
That's totally fine. And I do want to share with you that actually a couple weeks ago we were in Tampa and Alan Burstyn was in Tampa and we did drag him to karaoke with us.
Bless you. Yeah.
he didn't really sing much,
he
but
was
you know,
a little shy.
still fun.
He is kind of a dude like that. Like I always want to know what he's like. You know, I'm like, dude, what do you do when you go out like dancing? Like, what do you do? I bet you. And I'm like, he doesn't actually dance. He'll just be in the corner like vibing. I'm like, this guy is an amazing dancer, but he'll just be vibing. He's, I mean, such a good friend of mine still. I love him. I think we were such a great partnership. And it's been cool to, like, mesh the two worlds. Like, he came to watch me play in Kansas City, and I was like, you're in my house now, dog.
Yeah.
It's where Mama cooks, you know? So it was really cool to show him where I, like, being in the ballroom dancing is where he thrives, where he feels the best, and then me being on the right pitch is where I feel the best.
No, it was so interesting because I was like, dude, why are you being so shy? Like, you go dancing on national television all the time. And he's like, dancing is different than singing.
Yeah.
And I'm not a good singer.
Fair.
And I'm like, you know what? So true. I hope you taught him how to do a little body check or something.
Yeah.
I tackled him a couple times.
There you go.
Perfect.
I do want to talk about you have now graced the cover of Sports Illustrated twice.
Yes.
Twice.
Well, I didn't grace the cover this time.
Right. You were in the edition with other athletes.
I was in the edition, yes.
So I feel like when people see that, they assume that you've made it with like body acceptance and body image. Whereas, you know, on your Instagram, you've shared publicly, like sometimes, some days you have days where it's harder than others to accept how your body looks. Do these two experiences feel kind of like at odds to you, or are they just like different parts of the same story?
Yeah, I think that it's so interesting to me. I think the realms that I'm in, I've seen the most fittest six-pack people not like their body. Mm-hmm. And I've been in the Hollywood industry where these gorgeous, normal-sized women feel the need to lose weight and be even smaller and whatnot. So it's so interesting to me that I see all these sides and I'm like, oh man, so it doesn't really matter what you look like. Mm-hmm. Everybody has insecurities. Like, I know the people who are considered the most attractive from society, I know women who still feel so uncomfortable. So that's always been eye-opening for me. So I think it's okay. I think it should be talked about more to not always feel your best and confident, because I'm telling you, most people don't. Yeah. There are most people, and even who are preaching confidence, who don't feel confident all the time, and that's so normal. So, like, for the SI thing, I mean, even women in that book don't feel their best all the time. But there are moments where we can show ourselves and show that it is okay, and that no matter where we're at, there is beauty still there. And I think it's really, kind of a brave thing to put ourselves out there like that, I think. Well,
I also, you mentioned on your podcast with your sisters about how with the first issue, you were like, oh, I was coming off my Olympic run, so my body looked different then. And then now it was, you're in your season. So, you said something about like not wanting to change how you look for this time around. Why did you?
Yeah, I always think like, because I knew I was going to do this one a little bit sooner than I did the last time. I never wanted to like go and then, I'm going to be on Sports Illustrated. I got to go look great for it or change or lose weight. Because I was like, I don't want to look back years from now and be like, man, I wish I looked like that. Mm-hmm. But like, oh, wait, no, I actually didn't change to look like that. Mm. So that was like, I mean, I sometimes I think I have like reverse body image because I think I look the same at all times. Yeah. So I'm like, that seems like I could be at my leanest and I'm like, that looks pretty much the same as what I look at my heavier. So yeah. I look at those pictures and I'm like, wow, I think it looks really great. And also it's such a great team that we shot with. So I don't know. I think it's been so good to get my body out there. And I love that girls love seeing that. And I think the cover was so explosive because it was like, wow, really putting somebody with, muscles out there showing that they can be sexy and beautiful. And I love it. I love being naked. I love showing it off. Yep. And I hope that I want to do more campaigns. I want to do like, whether it's lingerie or anything like that. I think I want to show people that this is a body that is, beautiful and all those things.
Yeah. And I think when I was a college athlete, I think I struggled with a lot of that too, because, you're trying to, comparison is the thief of joy. I know I've heard it a million times, but I'm really bad at that. But I would always try to like compare, this person, is on my team and they have a completely different body than me. And like, why is that? Whatever. But I think like always coming back to the point of like my body can get me like across the finish line, and it's gotten me to like, for your case, like the Olympics and all of that. So it's like reminding yourself of like that type of thing where your body is actually fueling you to do great things, I think is always a good reminder.
Yes. And I mean, shoot, it don't have to be Olympics or anything. You could be doing that Pilates class.
Exactly. Which, by the way, so freaking hard.
Perfect.
It's literally I know. It is like going to war. Oh my gosh, it is so hard.
1,000%.
Okay, so speaking of the Olympics, I do just have to ask, like, obviously that's when people really first got your kind of number and the attention from you. Do you have the Olympic tattoo? You don't, right? Or you do? You don't. Mm-mm. Okay. Or do you plan on getting one?
I have my chain here.
Okay, love it.
That I rock.
Oh, I love that.
I don't know. I always said if I got a medal, I might get it.
Okay.
But I haven't so far because I feel like wearing some of my teammates wear the chain and the tattoos. I'm like, all right, we get it. You went to the Olympics.
Whoop-de-hoo, yeah.
No, I love them. I love them. I haven't gotten the tattoos yet. I don't know if I will. It's definitely such a big part of me, but also not the only part.
Right.
Like that I don't think defines me.
That's a great perspective, way to think of that. Okay, and then also, I know that you initially started playing sevens rugby, right? And then now you're in 15s rugby, and I'm probably butchering that.
No, you're good. So traditional form is 15s, and the form that's played in the Olympics is sevens.
Okay.
I started out playing 15s, then sevens is professional form in the U.S. I went after college, played that. And now I'm playing 15s again.
Is that going to change for this upcoming Olympics, or is it supposed to be the same?
Olympics will be 7, so I'd have to transition back to 7.
Okay, interesting. So the more you know. I wanted some interesting, like, rugby actual terminology in
Hell
there.
yeah.
Learn a little bit. I hear you.
Educate yourself. All right. Okay, so you're literally outside all the time for your sport. Here comes the brand question. Did working with Coppertone feel like a natural partnership to you?
You know what? Honestly, it did. Because I have that in my locker. Like, that's what I use at the Olympics. I go and buy myself a Coppertone. Because I am out in the sun, like, constantly. We train, 2-3 times a day. And so I love the Coppertone Sport, the spray, because it's just so freaking easy to use. And I actually have a massive fear of farmer's tans.
Okay.
Hands and socks tans, and I also wear knee pads. That's a triple whammy there.
Yeah.
So I love that a brand like Sunscreen partnered with me, because I'm like, yeah, I use this all the time. I brought them to my team recently on tour, and I had all these girls being like, I love Coppertone. Coppertone is the best. Like, there was a constant cloud of it around us before practice because everyone was wearing it.
Yeah. Okay. The sock tan is really real though, like, because that is the worst tan line.
No, I know. I can't be doing that. Yeah, I'm dedicated to looking good in a bikini at all times.
Obviously, as we all should strive to be.
1,000%, yeah.
Okay, we have a couple quick ones for you. We call this segment In the Pocket, but it's kind of like rapid fire-esque, but take your time answering.
Perfect.
Okay, so what's harder, training for rugby or learning a new dance routine for Dancing with the Stars?
Physically harder, training for rugby. Mentally harder, dancing.
Okay, that's a good answer.
For me, at least, yeah.
Valid. Okay, your sister Olivia coined the term girl dinner. What's your ideal girl dinner?
Always have a protein in there. Being an athlete, being a big girl, I love to get a little protein in, some cheese in. It's really just a deconstructed sandwich, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, fair.
Cheese, a pickle, protein, probably bread.
A pickle, yum. Couldn't go wrong there.
Love it.
Okay, you have obviously a huge social media presence. What's your favorite TikTok trend right now?
What's my TikTok trend right now? I don't know. I honestly need to throw my phone away.
Okay.
Like, I am on there too much, and I need to throw this in the ocean. But I love the airball one, where it's like, holy freaking airball.
Yep.
Like, I told him I was a rugby player. He said, like, what club team do you? And then holy airball, you play for the USA.
Yeah.
I like those ones.
Yeah, that's been a great trend.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite sports movie of all time?
Sports movie of all time. Probably Bend It Like Beckham.
Oh, great one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like such a classic. Oh my God, takes me right back. Yeah. Okay, and last one for you. It's kind of like a 3-part question. I need to know about the sister relationship and dynamic, because I also have 2 sisters. So who do you bicker with more? Which sister's more likely to steal your stuff? And who's the funniest sister?
Right. Okay. So Olivia is my eldest one. She and I always grew up very close in age, so we were close growing up. Adriana is the youngest. She's like 3 years younger than me, but like when I was a senior, she'd be a freshman, so there's a big age gap. But now we've all grown very close, and those two are actually really close. They're very similar, and they get along, but also can bicker at each other like no one else.
Okay.
I don't bicker too much with them. We're actually pretty chill girls, honestly.
Yeah, not bickerers.
My older sister is my manager, so we do work very closely together.
Okay.
Which is like, finding that dynamic between family and business. I'm not going to say who the funniest is, because they will end me, whoever I don't say. But just know my dad thinks I am the least funniest daughter. So
okay,
that'll humble you.
Wow.
What?
Thanks, Dad.
I got beef with Mr. Maher, I gotta say.
Yeah, no, it's true actually. I'm really funny online because I'm fine being vulnerable and sharing myself. But my sisters, they'll have you laughing.
I want them to come on well played.
So it's okay. I took that with on the chin. I was like, respect. I hear you, man. But no, who else? I think that those two just more bigger with each other, but they also are just so similar.
Yeah. Okay.
Alrighty. Well, to wrap things up, where can people keep up with you, follow you, any upcoming competitions you got going on?
Yeah, I don't do that social media stuff, so
Haven't touched it
So
ever.
good luck finding me.
I try not to. Maybe a letter here and there. Okay, online you can find me at ILONAMHER on TikTok and Instagram and Threads.
Oh,
Love it.
And I do a podcast with my sisters at House of Mar, where we just really invite you into our home and we chat like we do when we're on our video calls together. And then you can find me in the World Cup this year. For
Hell
women's
yeah.
rugby.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait.
Hopefully that'll happen, yeah.
Well, Ilona, you've been such a joy. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. And we're all going to get those viewership numbers up for the sport of rugby.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thanks.
that's it for this episode of Well Played, though.
It is. It is.
Sad.
But we'll be back next week. Don't cry. Don't you worry.
I like that.
Until next time, thanks for listening to Well Played.
The only podcast in the League of Its Own.